What's up, guys? Bang, bang, lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here. Finally, she's back.
I'm back.
The beautiful, intelligent Polina Marinova Pompliano, P-I-M-P, Pomp. What's up?
Do I look like Michael Jackson today?
I don't know if you want to look like Michael Jackson because he was, unique. But, yeah, sure.
Talking about style.
Okay. Don't forget that Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi. BlockFi has 3 products. You can buy and sell crypto. You can deposit crypto and take out a US dollar loan. Or you can earn up to 8.6% APY in an interest-bearing account. Go get a BlockFi account. BlockFi.com/pomp. It's awesome. BlockFi.com/pomp. What's up?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay. The election is tomorrow. There's not much to say except that the election race remains tight between Trump and Biden. So it's going to be one of them. There's not going to be a surprise third horse in the race. Just saying.
What I will say about the election is, regardless of if Trump or Biden wins, remember one thing. The government and no politician on this planet are coming to save you. You are responsible for you. Educate yourself. Take control of your life. Don't wait around for people to give you things or for the government to tell you what to do or say that you're allowed to do things. Simply remember that personal responsibility will set you free. It's not that hard. There's no political candidate that's going to save you or that's going to make you rich or successful or happy. In fact, they're probably going to do the opposite. So take responsibility, understand what you're trying to do, and go do it. Stop waiting around hoping that some government is going to come and solve your problems. They ain't coming. They don't care about you. They're not going to fulfill their campaign promises. They're all the same.
Yeah, that really sucks. Because some people really do vote for people based on their campaign promises. And then it's like, oh, sorry, I didn't have time for that.
You can be a sheep and you can hang your dreams on campaign promises. Or you could be a fucking savage and go to work every day and say, I'm going to do the things I need to do to make sure I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise.
You sound like my 4th grade teacher. Okay.
It's just true. Guess what? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people in this country who genuinely believe the government will solve their problems. The government doesn't give a shit about you. And that's okay. Their job is actually not to give a shit about you.
I think their job is to give a shit about them.
No, it's not. The government is not there to solve your problems. They want you to think that. They want to tell you they're going to give you free money and free this and free that. They ain't going to do anything. And it doesn't matter who's in office.
This was very uplifting. Thank you. Just
take responsibility for yourself. That's it.
Okay.
That's what I have to say about the election. Go ahead.
Can we just reflect that he used the words healthy, wealthy, and wise?
Yeah. Early to bed, early to rise keeps a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Leave a comment if you know who said that quote. You never heard that before?
Yes, I have. Just didn't think I would hear it on Lunch Money here today, but here we are.
Well, sorry that I'm educated.
The soap opera that was the deal, the luxury deal, between LVMH and Tiffany. LVMH was supposed to acquire Tiffany, but then there was a bunch of drama when LVMH in September went public with the news that the French government asked it to wait on closing the deal. So now they have finally settled on terms. It's still gonna be the largest deal in luxury retail. LVMH will acquire Tiffany for $131.50 a share. That's $3.50 less than the original price, but $1.50 more than Tiffany's reported bottom line. Well, they got it through.
Consolidation. Every time that there's economic damage, you're going to get consolidation, and that's what you're seeing here. Makes sense.
Cool.
By the way, I don't know what any of that is. What is LVMH?
Oh, it stands for something I cannot pronounce.
But what is it?
It's a luxury retail.
They got clothes, they got bags, they got shoes.
Yeah.
What do they got? All that?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of it. They ever heard of Nike? Go ahead.
Inspire Brands will buy Dunkin Brands Group for $8.8 billion, setting up one of the largest restaurant deals in years as some in the industry think beyond the coronavirus pandemic. What are these large deals? Why are they happening during 2020? What is happening?
Because whenever there is chaos, there's opportunity. So you get either assets that are distressed. These aren't distressed assets, but you get distressed assets, which leads to consolidation. You get people who say, you know what, while all my competitors are reeling, I'm actually going to go gain market share. I'm going to get aggressive. I have access to capital.
If you have a lot of capital, now is a good time, probably.
Exactly. But remember, America runs on Dunkin'. Dunkin' Donuts. Popping.
Today, Anthony got me coffee, and it was the wrong coffee.
False.
I know.
False. I got up like I do every morning, and I went and I got coffee for you, me, and
the wind is really strong.
Somebody else. And when I did that, they gave me the cup and they said what was in there is what I ordered, and then I handed it to you and it wasn't there. It's so either I magically changed it on the way or they gave me the wrong thing.
Did you magically change it on the way?
No.
All right.
I'm like David Copperfield though.
Who?
It's all right. You're not cultured. Go ahead. Square is looking, so you know Square, it's an electronic payment system operator. It's in talks to purchase the tax preparation business of personal finance company Credit Karma. What does Square want to do with tax preparation? Square's entire business has always been around payments, deposits, point of sale systems, etc. Anything to do with payments, Square wants to own. And so if you're involved in payments, then you're going to also have your customers want you to help them with taxes, right? If I'm constantly processing payments, I'm going to somehow need to get that information in an automated fashion into my taxes. And so if you've got something that can do that, idea. That's really attractive for
small businesses.
Small business or personal, right? Like imagine if you do a ton of payments or whatever. I don't know why somebody would be doing a ton of payments on Cash App that would need to be reported on their taxes, but maybe.
Okay, so the pandemic has wiped out millions of mostly low-income jobs in hotels, restaurants, retail, and other hard-hit corners of the economy. But now they're moving into higher-paid office workers. In the last few days, ExxonMobil, Chevron, Charles Schwab, and Raytheon have announced plans to cut thousands of white-collar jobs. That's on top of major layoffs already announced at Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Salesforce, Allstate, and CNN owner Warner Media. Nobody is safe. If you think you're safe, you're not safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy when a restaurant shuts down and say, hey, we have to fire our staff. Like that's like a cause effect. Very, very, very simple to understand. What now you're starting to see is companies say, wait a second, maybe this is going to last much longer than we thought. We should go ahead and cut costs. We also are starting to understand like maybe we didn't need all of these people here. There's many people who are sitting at home who, if you're intellectually honest with yourself, you were going into work, let's say a 9 to 5 for 8 hours a day, and maybe you've been told to stay home or you were told to stay home for some period of time. And you realize, actually, I only do like 2 or 3 hours worth of work. Like I can basically get it done in 3 hours.
Oh gosh,
and then
who are
the
those
rest
people?
Well, if you think about like one of my brothers is a great example, right? Like he used to go into a job every single day. Now he still is spending his time doing his work, all that kind of stuff. But like if he just sits down and focuses, he can get it done in like 3 or 4 hours. So like there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes on in the office that isn't direct output of work, right?
Right, and there's a lot of distractions and in-person meetings that waste a ton of time and snacks and lunch breaks and people walking by your desk and you're constantly like, okay.
Yeah. Well, the other piece of it too is like I think there's a lot of people who are suffering right now because they don't have that interaction with people, right? So like the mental health is going to take a toll on that. There's people who just they need to get out of their house, right? They need to go into an office, and so there's different things happening around the world and also in the United States. But in New York, if you walk down the street on 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, there used to be thousands of men and women dressed up, ready to go to their corporate job. Suits, ties, briefcases.
Now we're just seeing sweatpants all over the place.
What do they call a pantsuit for women, right? Like all that stuff.
Okay.
No, that's what they call it, right?
Sure.
Okay. No, that is what they call it. I'm pretty sure. I'm a fashion expert.
When is the last time you saw a woman wear a pantsuit on the streets of New York City?
This morning. Literally at Starbucks. But there's just not that many of them anymore. So I think that there's a very direct line between the number of people I see in suits, ties, and briefcases and the economic recovery in New York City.
Great.
All right.
Why is it so windy? Oh my God, it opened the door.
Well, because the wind is blowing. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay. All right, so we're just going to let that happen.
The door's open right now. I don't care.
I'm going to get swept away next thing you know. Wuhan, China, where the coronavirus is said to have originated, is the latest destination for dark tourism trips. Dark tourism is basically like when people go to these tragic sites and tour it. Oh my God. Basically, a bunch of people are now very curious about the deadly virus's initial focal point, and a bunch of them are flying to Wuhan.
I'm not gonna talk about the origination of the virus, but we should check the lab. But what I will say is that this makes a lot of sense.
Why?
Because one, they've cleared it of coronavirus. They've basically said there's no coronavirus
after
here.
a 76-day lockdown.
Yeah. And that ended in April. They were literally having concerts and water pool parties.
Oh my God,
and
the
stuff.
Wet and Wild in Wuhan. That was
just Google Wet and Wild Wuhan, and you guys are gonna see photos. They had a concert, and everyone's in a pool. There's like hundreds, if not thousands, of people there. It's absolutely wild. But if you can go to a safe place where there is no virus. Now, is there actually no virus? I don't know. That's what's being reported. But it's kind of like when a crime occurs. If there's a shooting, where's the safest place to be right after a shooting? It's actually at the crime scene, because that's where all the cops are, right? Similar here is, if that is where it originated, check the lab, and you want to go somewhere that is the safest, actually probably Wuhan, China is probably one of the safest places in the world from the virus.
I probably wouldn't be caught at a Wet and Wild in Wuhan,
That's a
China.
different thing. That's a different thing.
But yes, I hear you. Okay, I have a joke for you. It comes from a Lunch Money viewer. I don't know if their username is inappropriate, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Wait, but real quick. Wet and Wild, I feel like this is like a cultural difference where I thought Wet and Wild was like they would advertise these videos at like 2 or 3 a.m. And they were like spring break. They would go to spring break and they would get like drunk people in like bikinis and stuff. Yeah, all right. Just very different cultural things. Like in the U.S., you can't call it Wet and Wild. I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think they called it Wet and Wild. I think we called it Wet and Wild. I think it's called like a wild.
All right, that makes more sense. Go ahead. Sorry.
Cultural differences.
Yeah, I was just like, maybe they're just using terminology that they don't. It's like a different thing there. Like maybe
Guys,
it's like
save
a popular
me,
thing.
help me. Okay.
Wet and Wild Wuhan is like, that's a pretty. Woo. Man.
Spring break edition.
Sell some tickets.
All right. We know what you're doing at 3 a.m.
Wet t-shirt contest. That's what they used to have on it. Yeah, that's what they used to have on it. Somebody go find the link for me. I don't know.
Please don't.
There's like videos, I'm telling you.
We know what that is.
That's a thing, right?
Right. We
Yeah,
don't
all
want to
right.
talk about it right now.
Okay, I'll stop talking about Wet and Wild video series. I think the guy who made it got sued.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is an inappropriate username or not, but I'm just going to say it. Hex Princess on Twitter. I don't know what that means. Okay, so here's their joke. Why doesn't Superman sell Bitcoin after 7 p.m.?
Why?
Because it's crypto night.
I will pay somebody $100 if they send in a joke that makes me laugh.
Oh, come on.
Because these jokes aren't funny. All right, that's it for Lunch Money today, guys. Wet and Wild Wuhan and personal responsibility. That's what you guys get at Lunch Money. We'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. like the video, annoy Polina in the comments, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.